Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I'm revisiting the 20 most populous cities, hoping to get 5 different ones to last time. We'll see how long it takes me, and if I do get a repeat one I might play this a couple times over. So without further ado, let's hit play, give ourselves the usual time limit to keep things going, and see how we do. So I think we did okay on this last time, but we need to, good to revisit and try again. So it looks like we're, here we go, what do we have here? Nihonbashi, okay. Ottoman Gate. So we're getting some English language, which is interesting. And the cars here on the left-hand side of the road with the driver on the right. So that is interesting. And that puts us in Japan. We've got here the number 1 and the 402. So let's get in here. Unusual to see English writing in Japan. So I think this is likely to be Tokyo. We know from the last game that the Osaka region is also one of the most populous areas, but this has a Tokyo feeling to it, let's say. And so I think we're probably in downtown Tokyo somewhere. I'm not 100% sure where downtown Tokyo is, but I think that this is probably about right. Now, what are we looking for? We're looking for the 402. We're looking north here, and the 1 crosses us here. So, look, we see the 1 there. There's the 405. So, does this line up? There's so much here. It's so intricate. There's so much to read. I'm not sure. I'm also not sure I'm in totally the right place. I think that this is where downtown Tokyo is. So let's see what else we can see here. Ottoman Gate. Nihonbashi. We're looking for some banks as well, aren't we? What was this one again? Oh, I could have sworn I saw a bank. The UFJ there. And what do we have? Let's go south a little stop here. And we're in some big square now. We're clearly in this downtown region, you know. Clearly in downtown, so that's interesting. Don't have long now to make up my mind, so can't actually get a road name at this stage. So I think it's just a case of finding the right downtown Tokyo, which I would have assumed is here. I'm still looking for the 1. We've got the C1, but that is a different numbering type to what we saw earlier. The 405 is what we were looking for. Can we zoom out and see if there's 420 is still there? 308, 450. Just going back to the beginning, there's a 7-Eleven there, lots of 7-Elevens. Do we see any of these other clues? Ottoman Gate, Iken, Nihonbashi. Nihonbashi. I've only got 7 seconds, so I just don't see it. I assume, you know, this is where I am, and I'm just going to stick with my guess. Well, we were extremely close there. I didn't see the 1 at any stage. There's the 20. Perhaps it was the C1, but you know, it just was not clear. Also, zooming in here, it's unclear that this is actually a park, a plaza, basically. Just because there's so much sort of going on. You know, this is all clearly underground, these red tunnels. But we're extremely close there, so in absolutely the right neck of the woods, which is great. Play next round. Okay, what do we have here? So I actually can't quite make those out. The Nile Ritz-Carlton. So in Egypt it is. I almost said India there, which is wrong. The Nile Ritz-Carlton. Now, is it likely that that is in Cairo? I think it's maybe fair to assume so. Although I'm not sure what this building is. So That's interesting. It's absolutely gorgeous. Let's get in there. Let's get into Cairo and assume that the Ritz-Carlton itself is going to be in the middle of town. Let's be honest, right? It's going to be in some popular area. So if we get in here, look, we've got the opera and a few other things. Now, it doesn't seem that I can move here. It seems I'm in a photosphere, so unfortunately can't get out. But let's just see what we're looking at. So south is the Nile, and this building looks pretty official. Sorry, not south is the Nile. South is the hotel, the Cairo Sporting Club, the Sofitel here on the Nile. So we're looking for those pink bed symbols. The Sheraton Cairo Hotel. This all sounds pretty plausible to me as being the right area. So Kempinski, Four Seasons. I think the Ritz-Carlton is a pretty posh hotel. Yes, and there it is. So we're by the Four Seasons. There's the Nile Ritz-Carlton, and this is clearly where we are, the Egyptian Museum, tracing 5,000 years of Egyptian histories, including the Royal Mummies Hall. Well, isn't that just fantastic? I mean, there must be so much in this building to explore. That really is exciting. So I'm glad that we found it. We're about out the front here. Let's put ourselves around there. Just zoom out for a second just to get a lay of the land, because Cairo is not a city that you see very often on GeoGuessr, at least I don't. So here we go, the city of Cairo, just sort of up the Nile, really, from North Egypt and the Nile Delta. We've got here New Cairo City out to the east, the airport to the west, Sheikh Zayed City. The pyramids are out here, in this region, I believe. And there we go. It's a bit like Paris, to be honest, with these sort of islands in the main river there. And clearly this is sort of the center of the city with the Egyptian Museum and all of these sort of major hotel chains. So, yeah, fantastic. Good to see. Let's go for the guess. And that's 5,000 points. On to the next round. Okay. We're in another plaza-style area here. Now, this is interesting. This is probably China, and I'm going to guess we're in Shanghai, but I'm not 100% sure. I really don't know. There is a big river here, so that's interesting. But it isn't quite the Shanghai city skyline that I'm familiar with. Not that I've ever been, but yeah, it just doesn't quite have the same buildings. I expected a few more, but maybe we're looking at it from the wrong angle. So let's just check out the lay of the land in Shanghai. We're looking south here. Looking south, and the sun is ahead of us, so that certainly puts us in the right region. Here is Shanghai, not north of North Korea, and there is a river here. And we can see it's got these major bends in it, major meanders. So where do we think? Oh, there's a Grand Kempinski Hotel there as well, where we just saw one in Cairo. So looking south, what do we have here? This is clearly some major... This looks like a train station or a bus station. So do we see anything like that here? Do we see a train station, bus station? The China Art Museum. Not really, although there must be one. Let's get in here. Cruise ship dock terminal. Cruise ship dock and avant-garde terminal. Do we think that this is it? The Shanghai Port International Cruise. It's not clear that it is. Look, we've got some bridges here. So the river goes off to the west and off to the east. kind of meanders around both, doesn't it? So let's just check our geography again. Does this feel right? Sort of possibly, but it's not perfect, is it? So perhaps we are not in Shanghai. I'm going to leave my guess there. We've burnt through most of our time allocation, to be honest. So a little worrying. Again, in terms of the skyline, you know, we're looking south there now. Dead south, in fact, at this sort of quite big peninsula. The Oriental Pearl TV Tower. There are towers here then, so this is, you know, it's got the right geography in terms of the buildings maybe. The Shanghai International Conference Center. I just don't recognize the skyline, really, as being one that I'm familiar with. But we've got some bridges. Oh no, that is actually a tunnel. No, all of them are tunnels. So this is unlikely to be Shanghai. I think I've rather messed this one up. This is not going to end well, I don't think. Perhaps we're in Taipei, but I don't see the Taipei 101. And yeah, I'm not sure where we are. There we go. So we were not in Shanghai. Should have figured that out ages ago. Don't think I'd ever have guessed Tianjin. Thought about Beijing for a split second, but no river in Beijing. And I think the river in Shanghai is far, far greater. Yeah, I mean, look at that, the comparative size of this one. I think I was totally wrong there. So, well, clearly I was. So there we go. Right, a different neck of the woods here entirely. We're by Chicken Republic. And perhaps this says something here. Lagos Mainland Council Local Government. Such and such transport and so on. So we know we're in Lagos. Right, now the question is where? Lagos is an absolutely ginormous place. Let's get up onto this overpass here and see if we can use that to see anything. Looking west, not a lot. Looking north, no. Looking east, no. Looking south, not much either. We know that Lagos is on the coast, so you do see parts of Lagos sort of right by the water, but we know we're not there. So that's going to put us up here somewhere, I think. And I think that, you know, this might be as good a guess as any, frankly. But look, we've got like an overpass here, for example. This is plausibly one with a roundabout to our north. Do we have a roundabout to our north? No, in fact, the overpass is what's going north. So I think it's almost better just to look for a bit of road geography and see if we can determine our intersection from here. For example, are we here? Zenith Sports. Choppy's Fast Food. And Bible Wonderland. Can we work these out from here? We've got a bus stop. Djibou. Djibou. Do we see a Djibou? Djibou. There it is. Yes, Djibou. We were close. We were very close to begin with. There is the Djibou bus stop. And just up the roads here, we've got the Chicken Republic, which we started right out in front of. Let's just check this out again. Yes, that's right. There's the Chicken Republic on one side. No major premise on the other. And we should just double check that looking north, we see a major road crossing over this one. And yes, we do. There it is. So I think we're absolutely spot on with Lagos there. 5,000 points. Okay, well, that makes up for the Shanghai disaster. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. This is absolutely glorious. And in a fitting, well, we come 360. I don't know what the phrase is I'm looking for, but in a fitting ending, we find ourselves in Shanghai. So this is the skyline I was looking for before. So and look at this sunset. This is just, I don't know if a filter's been added here, but this is just absolutely glorious. I mean, that is the thumbnail right there. Pause for effect. Just absolutely glorious, and you can see the comparative size of this river here is huge. So, you know, I was clearly in the wrong mindset of the last one. We're back to sort of looking east now at the main city. So again, let's get back into Shanghai, and goes to show how many major conurbations there are in in China because, you know, several feature. Now we're looking dead east at the city center, which is you know, here we've got the TV tower. I think that's this very famous one here with the balls in it. And you know, we're probably somewhere here then in Huangpu Park or Chenyi Square. I'm going to guess we're around there. We need to do a bit of triangulation, let's say. We've got this lovely pedestrianized area here, and we've got some pretty major buildings. So can we figure out what any of those are? Got the Chinese flag on this one. There's a bit of a... Some of the buildings look like these domes, for example, these clock towers are here. Absolutely glorious buildings. I think we're going to be along here because here we see, you know, a lot of these buildings sort of lined up here. Bund Sightseeing Tunnel, for example. We've got a subway and a Costa waterfront gathering spot with a statue. Can we see a statue anywhere? Do we see a statue down here? No, there's no piers to go off either. So we need to maybe triangulate ourselves to looking dead east. We're slightly south of this oriental tower, so maybe we're a bit further down here. Still lots of buildings to go by. I think then I'll put us there. And quite hard to triangulate this one, so it might not be a perfect score. But anyway, I think we've got it right. Just absolutely mesmerized by this view here. So gonna leave us with that once again. But just look at this sunset, the colors, and even also on these fantastic, you know, more classical looking buildings, let's say. It's just absolutely glorious. So what a fantastic looking city. Shanghai on full form. All right, well, let's go for the guess and see how we did. Ooh, and we were pretty close, a bit further south still, so I'm glad I moved down there. Unfortunately, we didn't quite nail the full points, but nonetheless, I think can be pretty happy with that one. So, view the summary. Well, we did okay in the end. We got Shanghai eventually, although it was in a different round. But yes, between Tokyo, Cairo, Lagos, and Shanghai at the end there, 4 pretty successful rounds, just the missed one in number 3. Nonetheless, I do hope you've enjoyed this video. That's 5 new major populous cities around the world, and I will see you in the next video.